Hello and welcome to the Sunbirdcrochet podcast. My name is Claudia and I'm coming to you from Germany. This podcast is all about crochet, knitting, a little bit of sewing, even though it's not my own, but I see this channel also to promote other makers, and I hope that you will enjoy your time with me. Today is Saturday, the 28th of October. Almost time to change your clocks. Just a fair warning for everyone who is turning from summertime to wintertime, or vice versa, wherever you live. So now I saw that I'm constantly gaining subscribers. So thank you for coming and watching me for the first time, or if you are a viewer and a friend already, coming here again, even though you should know better. Thank you for subscribing and for spending time with me. Today I have for you works in progress and lots of incoming and a book review. Let's start with a crochet. My crochet whip is still my huge granny stitch shawl schlenket. I am almost done now. This is what I've added since last time. And this is how much I've got left from my magic ball. A magic ball is, it's a ball which you're making, and you are taking minis and leftover yarn, bits and bobs, and you wind them up to a yarn ball, just knotting them together. And then if you are like me, you've done this a while ago, and so it's a surprise what color comes up next. Also, it's a good way to prepare yourself when you are doing you know what, when you've got a yarn advent calendar or some other kind of mini yarn calendar or collection, then you can prepare your project. If you have a project like this where you don't mind when the color change is happening, I think that's really a fun way to prepare yourself and get all the winding done before you start your project or before you continue working on your project, because you don't have to stop and wind up the next ball, and that, well, for me that takes a little bit the fun out of a project, all that winding up. So get it done in one go and then you are ready to go. I am using the free pattern for this shawl by Anna Boo's House, and the yarn in here is some leftover yarns here, which I don't remember the name, then a mini yarn collection from Kiez Garn in Berlin in Germany, and then my down here up until that color here, that's my Waiting for Halloween calendar from Green Lambkin Yarns. And now I've just I'm adding Studio Science Science yarn here. I think last time I said it would be CYAN. It's Studio CYARNS. I believe. Don't quote me on that. I just got out of bed, so it's a little bit too early for me to be totally precise, and I'm a Gemini, so I'm all over the place in any case. So now, crochet project well on its way to be finished, maybe even today. Yeah, that's the project crochet wise. And my next project is my knitting project, even though it is actually a mixed kind of affair, because this is the Geogradient MCAL by Stephen West Knits. It's running for the 4th week now already. There are 4 clues. We are on clue number 4, and I'm way behind. I'm about to finish clue number 2, and this might be controversial because I'm doing my own thing. We started off with a square in the middle. I hope you're not tired of seeing this and talking about it with me. And I've added the mohair there. That's why it's translucent. It's the repeat of the colors, and now I am on my last stripe, so to say, and then I will have this currently diamond shaped shawl. And clue number 3, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet and you want to keep a mystery, skip ahead, like, I don't know, maybe you just mute and you can't see it, but I will talk about it. So the clue 3 is extending one side to a triangular, and the same on that side, so that the whole shawl turns into a triangular shape. And clue number 4 is then adding on the bottom of this shawl, just imagine it, all around, well, not all around, but all from one tip of the shawl, which would be clue number 3, to the other tip of the shawl over there, around the bottom edge, a lovely border of dip stitched rows, and it looks like a lot of work. I'm not sure if I'm up to it. Maybe if I would do it for the next year or so, but I'm so impatient. I don't think I want to, honestly. And I already asked the group, the Made by Arlene MCAL support group, if I would be kicked out of a group, if I would do the rest in crochet. So yeah, this is a crazy kind of project. Maybe not crazy, maybe more like tap into your own creativity and enjoying the process. And I did learn something. I mean, here I've added the eyelet round, and you're supposed to do eyelets in between these color changes instead of a mohair, and I'd rather poke my own eye. It's I don't enjoy these little eyelets, making these, that is. I mean, I like the look of them. Not excited about them, but they're not like something which I wouldn't wear, you know. But making them is too much effort for such little effect. I would like these eyelets to be bigger, to be more dramatic. I mean, maybe they open up when I will block the shawl, but at this stage I'm not going to add more eyelets. So instead I used the mohair, which will give a bit more see-through character to the shawl, and I didn't make the eyelets with mohair. That would have been even more fussier. No. And so I'm doing my own version, and at one stage I probably have to admit that this is nowhere near the Geo Gradient MCAL shawl official version anymore. But I don't care, I'm having fun. And I think that's the main thing. This will be a unique shawl, so to say, and a combination between crochet and knitting, which I actually start to enjoy. I mean, in which book, in which Bible, or in which, I don't know, who made the rules that you can't mix knitting with crochet? And I think that people were doing that more often in the 1970s and 80s. I mean, they always made crochet jumpers with knitted cuffs and hems and such. So I'm just embracing everything, not just my own pace, but also I'm embracing all the crafts, if they are fun. So where is the beginning and where's the start? I haven't lost any stitches. That's the good news. Yeah, so I'm well on my way with that. I am intending to bind off so that I can continue in crochet. And I'm looking up, or I'm going to look up techniques where you use a crochet hook for binding off your knitting. I think that would be best, but I will first look it up. And yeah, project number 2. Maybe I should have warned you that there isn't so much new today to talk about, but I hope that you will still stay for the rest of it. I've got some incoming goodies, and also there's still the maid. Yes. I think I will talk about what I've been buying, or how I was supporting the crafting community. First of all, I bought some barber cords. I didn't own them before, and I'm still not sure, now that I've kind of made up my mind to continue in crochet, if that purchase was actually necessary. I got 2 cords. They are in yellow and in green, and well, I got them from Strickoholic Yarns, a seller on Etsy based in Germany. I've got a little stitch marker there. So there's a green, neon green and neon yellow set, and these are free cords in each color. This one looked a little bit messy, so I wound it up, but it's still looking even more messier. Now, with the barber cord, I believe, let's demonstrate, right? So, with the barber cord, you've got your knitting needle, and when you want to try your garment on which you're knitting, or if you have to move your stitches somewhere or keep them somewhere safe, you take this cord and your needle, and you put that, oh, I need glasses, I think, and you put it on your needle, okay, the needle end, and this is kind of sturdy. It shouldn't come off by itself. Yeah, that's quite okay. So it looks like a little worm. Okay, concentrate, Claudia. And then you can move the stitches from your needle onto this barber cord, and then you can tie a knot in it, and so that it doesn't like come loose. And I was skeptic even before showing it to you just now, but this would be coming off when I move the stitches, but there, I really have to pull on it that it comes loose. So yeah, maybe this will be useful in future. For now, I'm just using my needle stopper. There you go. So this was a purchase which will be useful in future. You had a choice of buying it in a tin can or just on their own, and I've got so many little bags and notion pouches, so I opted for no tin can. There, barber cords. Okay, next incoming is an exciting one. I've got so many project bags. Yeah, I can hear you. I've got too many project bags, but if I see one, I mean, it's like collecting wine, or I'm a project bag collector. So this is from a maker based in Nuremberg in Bavaria in Germany, and I saw her project bags on Etsy again, and I fell in love with this bag. The fabric is this fabric here, the hair, the little bunnies. This is a Cloud 9 fabric, and it's a drawstring. I would say like a small to medium-sized bag, enough for a little shawl project, definitely enough for a sock project. This is the maker. Come on, focus. It's hard to see. I will put her name up here. And I also found it very interesting. I also love that top fabric here, not just the hairs. And this is a box bottom. I just love everything about this bag. And even the handle, I mean, the idea to not add it here on the side or on the top, but to let it go down in a diagonal way, I really like that. So this is my new favorite project bag. I've got so many. I couldn't resist. And I decided to, I mean, this bag was around 23 euros. So some people are selling their project bags in that size for over 35 euros. So I think it was a bargain for such beautiful, beautiful fabric. The fabric itself, I researched it, already costs 24 euros per meter. Obviously you don't need a meter here, but I mean, you need that fabric, you need that fabric, you need the fabric for the lining and the interfacing, you need that, and you need this material and that material, and I think everything together and adding all the hard work and the creativity, I just love as it is, and I think I couldn't have done it better, and it's worth it. It's worth it. I don't need it, but I wanted it. No regrets. So that's bag number one. And yes, there isn't just one. Now, the other bag is a little bit different. For once, this is like a coated fabric. Let me just show you how it looks like. It's a coated fabric, not just coated from the inside. It looks like African waxed cotton, but it's, maybe it is. Anyway, it's washable. It doesn't take any odors. It doesn't get moldy. You can wipe everything off. The same kind of fabric is in the inside, and there is no zip. There is no drawstring. What there is this ribbon with these ends. So how you close it, this is called a lunch bag. Did I mention it? You put your lunch in here, your sandwich or whatever you want to eat, and you want to keep fresh and pristine. And then you roll it, let me turn it like this. You roll it down, like I think 2 times or maybe even 3 times. And then you take like this around. And then you take 2 ends and you clip them into each other. There you go. And there you've got your closed lunch bag. Obviously you've got something in there which keeps fresh and clean. And I just love the idea. And we are always looking for new ideas regarding project bags and lunch bags. And this seems to be a new trend, or maybe just new to me. But I loved this bag. Good for the outdoors, if you're crafting in the outdoors, like at the beach, or if you go hiking, you don't want your project to get wet in the rain or something or whatever. And I think this would actually be also a very good technique for a rucksack, like a backpack. All you would have to do is to add some straps for your bag. So yeah, ideas, creativity, love it. Let's chat a little bit now. The Maid. I've heard so many good things. I know that Becky from Back to Blighty enjoyed it. Based on her recommendation, I actually bought the book, a second-hand book, so no risk involved really. And I saw that Ellie from Starry Eyes Ellie, Little Drops of Wonderful, or This Wonderful Life, she got the audiobook on Audible. And yeah, I mean, if you read all the blurbs on the cover, they have, that book got excellent recommendations. And yeah, even, where was it? Somewhere. Stephen King said, excellent and totally entertaining, the most interesting and endearing main character in a long time. Now, I have to say something controversial. This is the most boring main character I ever came across. She is constantly talking about how she's cleaning things. Okay, she's a maid, she's working in a hotel, and I get it. She gets clues by cleaning up the rooms, and that's why she's a witness of a murder. Anyhow, she's talking about how she's rearranging the things of the guests and how she's cleaning these and what helps with this kind of stain. And I really, it goes on and on and on about, first of all, cleaning. It's not my favorite thing. I'm not interested in cleaning at all. I want to have it clean, but if there's someone else who's doing it for me, please go ahead. I don't need to read a whole book about cleaning. Someone who's obsessed with cleaning. Then yeah, things are a little bit, the characters, I didn't get into the characters, and admittedly, this is how far I've read. This is how far I've read. And I'm also repeating what my mother said, who read the whole book, by the way, in German. And I have to admit, I left out all these pages. I went right to the back of the book, and lo and behold, it was exactly, the murderer was exactly the person who I thought it was, right here at the beginning. So I spared myself over 200 pages of cleaning descriptions, and on top of it all, Molly the maid is a bit of an awkward social animal. She doesn't really know what's appropriate, what to talk about. She's sharing too much information. She's having odd reactions, socially awkward, or whatever you want to call it. She's a little bit of an odd one, and maybe that's why it's difficult to relate to her. Although in a reverse kind of logic, if you are yourself a little bit socially awkward and you have problems talking to other people and to socialize and to get out of a house at all, this might be the heroine for you. She's got a love interest. The barman, who's obviously a dodgy character, and she's talking a lot about her gran who passed away, so that's not really cheerful, is it? I like the dapper kind of detectives, lady detectives, like Daisy Dalrymple, if you know what I'm talking about, and I love Agatha Raisin, although only the first books. Later it repeats itself too much. So if you are into the humorous, action-laden, or nerve-wracking crime stories, even cozy crimes. I mean, there's more happening in cozy crimes. At least you get to hear about some cakes and some knitting and the scenery, the landscape. Here you get to hear about cleaning rooms, cleaning toilets, cleaning carpets. If you've read the whole book through, and there's much more excitement within the next 200 pages before the end, then please let me know. But I wasn't going to spend more time on this book. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, so I don't know what I will do with that book. Probably I will leave it somewhere in a cafe for the next person to find, or there are these bookshelves in the public areas, public spaces, like an old telephone booth or something, which is turned into a bookshelf, like a public bookshelf, and you can take a book which you fancy, and you can leave books which you want to donate or to give to other people, like a public library kind of thing, but a self-service library. There are a couple nearby, so maybe I'll just put it in there, and maybe even though I'm living in a small city, there are enough people who are actually reading English books. So maybe someone will be happy to read this book. Yeah. I hope no one is offended if I say that I didn't enjoy this book. Others are happy to enjoy whatever they like, but I wanted to be honest about this because I felt a little bit of guilt to go on about it without reading it and then being disappointed. So teaches me a lesson. Next time I will talk about a book which I've already read, and so I know already if I can recommend it or not. Yeah, The Maid. Talking about disappointing results, I got the urge or the idea to make my own audiobook, reading to you a ghost story for Halloween time. And I was inspired by, again, Ellie, who is Daria as Ellie. Her mother was reading the ghost story of some lighthouse keepers in Scotland who went missing. This is a real story, but obviously there are tales being woven and told around this real story from 1900 and something. So these kind of not really that thrilling but cozy thrilling have a cup of tea and just listen to it while you're crafting kind of story got me, and I tried my best to read a story to you. I went to archive.org because I wanted to make sure that this is in the public domain, and I wanted to be sure that I don't violate any copyrights. So I went to archive.org and I found a ghost story book from the 1900s, I think, or 1920. There were actually quite a good choice of books, all digitalized and available as a free download as a PDF. So I took just the shortest story. My criteria was I don't want to talk forever, especially when I keep talking. It sounds like my nose is stuffed and my accent comes through more, and yeah, but I did my best. And if you are willing to listen to me tell you a story, telling you a story, I call it a ghost story, but it's really just a little bit of a creepy, mystery, fantastic story. The original was written by Ambrose Bierce, and it's called The Damned Thing. Did I get you hooked? I also added a little bit of a hint of creepy music in the background, not too loud, and some special effect sounds like a coyote howling and doors opening and letters written, a pencil scratching on paper, and the sounds of a night, gasps, these kind of things. I had already uploaded it to YouTube, and I thought it's not up to the standard where I want it to be public, so I made it an unlisted video. But if you're willing to listen to that story, you can always stop and never tell me, okay? Be nice, don't tell me. But I will link it down below. It's an unlisted video. There you go. I said it. I put it out there, and I think I don't want to get all this effort which I went through to get this actually uploaded and cut and edited. I don't want it to go to waste. I will make another try. Maybe next time my reading skills will improve and you will enjoy the story even more. And that's all from me for today. It's raining outside. I don't know what your plans are this weekend, but mine are crafting, having breakfast actually. It's now 10:20 and I'm waffling around and missing my breakfast, and I should go out, I know, but it's raining and it's I don't want to catch a cold. I'd rather have a nice cup of tea. I believe that there is another Humans of Westnitz meeting tonight or for me it's tonight, 7 p.m. German time. That's 6 o'clock UK time and 1 o'clock EST. There are not so many more coming up because this is the last week or the last clue of the MCAL. But I mentioned that before and I'm just keeping you now. Have a lovely weekend. I hope that you're having a good time. Maybe your weather is better and you can get out and about and enjoy some adventures. And if not, then maybe enjoy a good book. And as long as it's not for maid. Keep smiling. Bye.